Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Daily Drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones. The topic today, stacking offensive linemen. Bill Belichick, Michael Lombardi have been bringing in offensive linemen from the transfer portal big time. I mean, they have been bringing in guys left, right, and center, stacking that room with experienced linemen from all over the country, places like Rice and Holy Cross and Troy and Jacksonville State, Alabama, although that's a less experienced player. The focus here more is going to be the experienced guys and what they're trying to accomplish by bringing in so many older guys who can buy alcohol and have been able to buy alcohol for a while. That's what it comes down to. Most of that room can buy alcohol. Most of the guys they brought in can go in the store with the real ID and buy alcohol. And I think that's what's noteworthy here, among many noteworthy things what this program has done, bringing guys in from the portal. All right, there are 3 returning starters. So one of the things I thought was pretty interesting is when people have asked me about or expressed their panic about the offensive line room or ask questions about it, they forget that there's 3 starters back. Now, Willie Lampkin was a stud, and he's gone. I get it. Howard Sampson went ahead and hit the portal and left. Would have been nice to see him stick around, but he left. They went out and filled guys. In fact, they went out and got everybody they brought in was significantly, at least that could compete for that job, these older guys, significantly more experienced than Howard Sampson was when he came from North Texas. So from that standpoint alone, the upgrades on the offensive line from the portal are much higher. Even Austin Blaski didn't play a whole lot at Georgia when he came in. His old teammate, Chad Lindbergh from Georgia, transferred to Rice where he started last year. He's now at Carolina. So he brings all that starting experience in as sort of a detour to Chapel Hill from Athens. He went all the way to Houston to play for a year at Rice. So, and he got a lot of snaps. So these guys that I'm going to note in here collectively are very, very experienced. And they joined Green, Banfield, and Blaski, who combined last season to play 2,248 snaps. A lot of snaps. Experienced guys. Even though Banfield was a true freshman, let's go ahead and call him grizzled enough, okay? The 6 portal guys that came in, now there's more than 6 on the offensive line, but I'm going to focus on 6 because I think it's interesting that this staff has been able to convince 6 guys that have 1 year left, although I'll say 5 with 1 year. I've been told William Boone has 1. I've been told William Boone has 2. We got to figure that out. He's the transfer from Prairie View. Started at tackle last year for Prairie View A&M. The other 5, they got 1 year left. So when you think about what Will Osteen left at Jacksonville State, you think about what Lindbergh left at Rice. You think about what Christo Kelly left at Holy Cross. You think about what some of these guys, Daniel King at Troy, they left guaranteed starting roles. They left places where they were decorated, where they were highly respected, where they were the dudes in that room, and in some cases where they were at least occasional game captains. They left that a guarantee to log 700, 800, 900 snaps this year and play at places where they are known, where they are comfortable, and where they were clearly happy. They took the chance to go up, play at North Carolina, play for Bill Belichick, and compete. You could only start 5 offensive linemen. 3 starters are back. They bring in these 6 that started a year ago, played a ton. That's 9 Division I starting offensive linemen, 7 FBS ones. And Kelly did play a lot of snaps against Syracuse last year. William Boone played a lot of snaps against Michigan State last year. So they didn't just play FCS schedules. These 6 coming in, career, have played 10,202 snaps. So when I've had people express concern about the offensive line, and there are a whole lot of guys back, and boy, I don't know what to expect here. I get that because we don't know how these guys are going to transition. We don't know if they're going to be Willie Lampkin and go from Coastal Carolina to being arguably the best blocker at North Carolina the minute he showed up. Or are they going to be Zach Greenberg coming from Division III, Muhlenberg, and struggling? And he's now gone after 1 year. We don't know what they're going to be. But here's the key. And this is what I love about the Belichick way. And here's an example for you to see that the Belichick way is in full force and is working behind the scenes. There's a lot of circus crap that's getting people's attention. But if you go beyond that and you see just in the football aspect of things, a lot of Belichick stuff is going on. And right here, the offensive line to me is Exhibit A, because these guys are going to compete. If you got 1 year left and you left something secure like these guys did, you're going to do everything in your power to get on the field. You are going to compete like you're a rookie trying to make the New England Patriots. That's the culture he's trying to build here. He's creating by bringing on all these guys. Ja'Kai Moore, 7th year from South Carolina because he had the injuries and everything. It's his last year too. He's got one more shot. And he gets to have that shot playing for Bill Belichick. That's pretty cool. He's going to do everything in his power to make the most of it. So in these 6 players that they brought in, along with the 3 returning starters, I'm going to say that Carolina has 9 returning starters on the offensive line. That's a lot of playing time. That's a lot of snaps. That's a lot of guys in that room, many of whom have voted in 2 presidential elections. They're older guys. They know what they want. They are mission-minded. And because of that, a couple of them are going to surface and become starters and become pretty good players, if not really good players. See, there's sort of a law of averages in recruiting and now with the portal. In recruiting, for example, I remember we got a chance a couple of years ago to talk to 21 or 22 incoming freshmen right after they arrived. And some of us in the media that are around the program all the time had a conversation about how, you know what, we may not talk to 17 of those guys ever again because they won't see the field, so they won't need to talk to them. They'll transfer because of playing time. They'll transfer for other reasons. Some of them will get hurt early and retire from football, all that kind of stuff. It is a law of averages. It's sort of a throw them against the wall and see what sticks kind of deal a lot of times in football recruiting, be it high school or in the portal. And clearly there's an element to that with what Belichick and Lombardi have done with the offensive line. They understand you win at the line of scrimmage, you build inside out. And you cannot have a shortage of offensive linemen. So they've brought in all these experienced guys to ensure that out of those 6, and there are a couple others they brought in as well that are younger, Miles McVay from Alabama, for example. If 3 of those 6 really help you out a lot, plus you've got Green, Banfield, Blasky, you're at 6 offensive linemen. Interchangeable parts, you can do a little more. Offensive coaches, line coaches especially, have loved to say they're going to play depth, love to say we're going to go 8 deep. We're going to rotate guys, but they never do. The 2 position groups on the field, football coaches are most paranoid about playing someone from the bench. Our quarterback, which is obvious. That doesn't need explaining. An offensive line. For the 29 years I've been doing this, and I've rolled up my sleeves and been right next to programs, a lot of different programs, not just North Carolina. It's amazed me how so many coaches don't work in reserve offensive linemen. They don't get them ready for that minute that the ankle turns and suddenly you're the starter. They're paranoid as hell about it because they got to protect the quarterback with these guys, and they got to open holes to run and move the chains, accumulate clock, win football games. It's the paranoia of the football coach on steroids, basically. No pun intended. We will see at some point this season how many of these guys are panning out, because if they're panning out enough, the staff's going to throw them out there. I think they'll play these guys early because I don't believe the competition will end in August. It will carry over into TCU. It'll carry over into Richmond and Central Florida and those games, Charlotte, perhaps even into the ACC. Maybe these guys will be sort of even enough that to stay fresh, they'll just continually rotate 7th guy, an 8th guy, maybe even a 9th guy. Now, they'll have to go replace most of them next year, so they're going to lose a lot of guys. But the fact that they have all this experience, they have all these snaps, they have hands in the dirt for years, to me is a great thing. I believe that's why the offensive line will be a strength for North Carolina this season. Green, Banfield, and Blasky are nice players. Banfield's got a tremendous upside. Green has a big-time upside. NFL scouts drool about his specs. Blasky is a rugged, been there, done that, 2 national championship ring guy. Lindbergh's got some of that too. And then you add these 6 in there, starving, hungry, one last shot. I mean, if they ever did that HBO Hard Knocks, that group would be the group to focus on in August. And whatever access we have, depending on where I am, because as most of you know, I'm leaving THI when my contract runs out. Hopefully I'm somewhere here in the area. I've got some lines in the water right now, and I've had that for a while, even before I made the announcement. But if I'm around, I'll be over there by the offensive line checking things out, because it's going to be a fascinating, fascinating place. What do you guys think? Are you excited about all this experience, all this depth, all this veteran, grizzled, hand in the dirt stuff that they've got there? If you are, go ahead and click like on this video. Even if you're concerned a little bit, click like anyway. If you've not subscribed to us, please do. I will maintain this channel even after I leave THI. So we're not slowing down. We're going to keep going, guys. I'm AJ, and I appreciate you stopping by.